So let's imagine that the prefrontal cortex is this stage right now. And this is the stage of your attention. It's your mental stage. And as any stage, it can have several actors coming on stage. And actors represent information, okay? Any information that you hold in your attention at any moment. Now, sometimes actors enter stage through side of stage, like Ben Blumel here. Thank you, Ben. Your brother is an actor, right? So surely you know what you're doing. Thank you. So Ben represents information that comes from the outside world, like Martha's 100 emails downloading in her computer. This is Ben, thank you very much. Now, sometimes we have actors that enter stage from the audience. And for our metaphor, the audience represents our inner world, our thoughts, our imaginings. And Robbie is a member of my audience. He's one of my thoughts. He's a memory, maybe. And sometimes we hold our inner thoughts in the stage of our attention or our external thoughts like the emails, etc., etc. Yeah, is that clear? Now, what's great about this is that once I have my actors on stage, I can do all sorts of interesting and fun things. And essentially, I'm going to tell you about them. And these are the 5 executive functions of the brain. For example, if I want to understand an idea, I will come to the light, please. Thank you very much. You're on stage, Ben. If I want to understand an idea, I will hold an actor on stage, the stage of my attention, for long enough to see how it connects to members of the audience. What is the audience? What is the audience? Your inner thoughts, your memories, your internal information, right? So Ben is trying to connect. This is what's happening. Keep connecting. Go on, engage, engage. This is what's happening when Martha is going through the emails, and she's reading information in the emails, and she's trying to connect that information with her internal thoughts and memories, etc. That's enough. Thank you very much. Now, the other thing that you can do with your actors on stage is to make a decision. This is my favorite one, right? We need decision-making a lot in our work. So to make a decision, you get different actors on stage, and then so many. And then you compare them to one another. You make value judgments. You go, well, actually, I'll read this email first, for sure. And that one I'll get to him last. And maybe him in between. And this is what you do. You decide what's more important, yeah? Now, the third thing that you can do is to recall information. Now, this is an interesting one. To remember something, you need to get actors from where? From the audience, your internal information, thoughts, memories. Now, Martha's sitting there and thinking, there was this thing that I learned in a management training course a few years ago about time management and email management, but it's too far back, especially if the memory is right at the back of the audience, like Charlie, by the way. She's part of this. She's not just having a thing. And she's... Yeah, thanks, Charles. But it's too far back, it's too dark, and you give up. You can't remember the information. Thank you very much, Charlie. That was brilliant. The other thing you can do is to memorize information. Now, to memorize information, you need to get external bits of information off the stage into the audience, right? They need to become your internal world. But that's not very easy to do, isn't it? Sometimes, especially if you're trying to memorize something or an idea, and you happen to be driving at the same time or doing something else. Thanks, guys, that was awesome. The last thing that you sometimes need to do is to inhibit information, because sometimes you really, really need to focus on something else. And to inhibit information, that was your cue, by the way. Oh, great. To inhibit, it's going great. To inhibit information, you need to manage distractions. And don't touch my hair. No. Really, not the hair. Okay. Distraction management is one of the toughest things to do, but it really is central to effective functioning. So you just need to clear the stage, please. Clear the stage. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Thank you. Now listen, just one more thing. Yeah, this is great, but there's one more thing, you know. The other thing about this stage is that it needs a lot of lighting, like this stage, right? And exactly the same with our key mental activities. Conscious mental activities chew up your metabolic resources, the fuel in your blood, like anything else. Significantly faster than your automatic brain functions, like the things that keep your heart beating or your lungs breathing. Now, this means that the power to light the stage, first of all, you need a lot of it, and second, it decreases as you use it. Doing hungry tasks on your mental stage, like complex thinking or making a decision or doing a presentation like this, could exhaust you physically after even just half an hour. In comparison, a truck driver can drive all day, all night, only needs to stop when they need to eat or sleep. And that's because, by the way, it involves a different part of the brain. In the center of the brain, it doesn't involve the prefrontal cortex. This part of the brain is much more energy efficient, unless, obviously, you're a new truck driver driving a new truck or going through a new route, and then it's a different thing. But essentially what this means is that your best quality thinking time only lasts for a certain period of time. It's a wonderful resource, but we need to watch very carefully what we do with the stage of our attention. And this is really key. The key is to rethink how we use it, how we value it. So here's a new perspective. Consider allocating your mental stage to things that really, really matter. And in the next maybe 1 minute, I just want to spend 1 minute, I'm going to go really quickly, and if you have your phones, get them out, because I want to give you 5 things very quickly that you can start doing tomorrow morning, and this can change your life, because it will change how your brain works. So listen carefully.